going on? It's the fabulous one here from F&G Sports post-workout. I gotta excuse the beard and the shades and the lid. It is a typical Saturday morning in April. 35 degrees. Freaking meteorologist. It's probably the best profession on earth. Most of them are wrong 80% of the time. I guess if you're wrong 90%, they make you the chief meteorologist. But anyway, we're just heading, like I said, post-workout. I'm a little pissed off today, because today was my target day for my comeback. I was going to do a 5K this morning. I had some knee problems since February, March, April. Yeah, back in September. Multiple procedures, freaking back injury. Banged up my foot last week, and now here we are. Pissed off, had to go to the gym, sweat it out, but we'll be back. Senior Bowl is approaching, and yeah, back. But anyway, just thinking about this upcoming season at F&G Sports. We're gonna launch our website sometime around August, probably late July, early August. We'll see. We'll get some welcome videos up, introduce it, do some Twitter things, Facebook probably, a YouTube channel. We're planning on. That's why this video is probably gonna be up. Just our random thoughts, rolling through the valley here. Yeah, listen to some Led Zeppelin, I guess. I'll be flipping the channel occasionally. Hope you can hear me. Got some turkey iced tea. Yeah, it's not really on my diet, but I could cheat once in a while. I don't know. What do you got here? A little protein bar. It tastes absolutely terrible, but it's pretty good for you. But like I said, F&G Sports, we're going to mainly concentrate on football, especially college football. That's my thing. I don't know if I've been on the Fox Sports Radio last season for the first 12 weeks or so. I'm picking mainly college, and we had like a 15 to 20 minute segment. We did pretty well, so got the idea for this. We got good ratings, a lot of followers. My freaking cell phones ringing off the hook on Saturday morning for all these degenerate gamblers looking for a winner. So I'm gonna get into that. Some betting strategies, things like that. We're not. This road's fucked up again. Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah, football's our thing. We do throw in a little basketball. I have some basketball plays here and there, but when the site's up and rolling, I'll throw it on Twitter, I guess, or maybe just on the homepage. That'll be free content. Actually, excuse me. All of our content's gonna be free this year. That's how we're gonna launch it. We're not looking to be millionaires. If we want to make millions, we can do it ourselves. Because I'm considered, believe it or not, one of the best, I guess. Not self-proclaimed, that we documented. But I did hit on the show last year. I went the first 3 weeks. I was giving out 3 college and 2 pro NFL games, and I think I started on 12-0, which was, it's impossible. Let's face it. There's more luck involved too. Bosses their balls, but yeah, they did pretty well. Pros not so much, but the NFL is tough. It's like there's not much edge. You got to really, really, really pay attention, and you got to be able to suffer some bad breaks here and there. You just gotta. I've always faded the public. Most of the people betting NFL are morons. So you fade them. You look where the money's going. You just go opposite for the most part, and you can grind out a living doing that, I guess, if your bankroll's big enough. I'm like a dog better. I bet. Especially those big TV games. And there's some angles, and we'll discuss that going forward. The roads are a mess. God knows. Don't get me started about politics. That's the only thing we won't discuss on our show and our videos, and even in print media, religion and politics. Because God knows I'm no expert, and when it comes to politics, I'm probably too opinionated. I will say this though: these local politicians, God bless them. They're working on these $1 million budgets, and the majority of them barely have a high school education, and probably can't even balance their own checkbooks. Because they're going to work on, they're going to tell you what's right for you with the money that the state and federal government gives them. Good luck with that. But and religion, I've been studying some Scientology lately. Not because I believe in it, because I think it's all bullshit. But they have a good audiovisual department, and they look pretty fit for the most part. So it's one thing I like. If you're in shape, at least you care about something. But anyway, getting back to the season. Like I said, we'll do other things once in a while on Twitter or on Facebook or even on some of the forums. I'll let you know. I do a pregame.com forum once in a while under I forget what my call sign is. I think it's X22 Fabulous or Fabulous One, or whatever. Double FMG. Maybe I'll create an account with Double FMG Sports and give that out. But I'm gonna do some random NBA playoff games, some March Madness, the Derby. The Derby's coming up. 2 ends on the wheel. I know. Maybe you'll look something up. I don't know. I really haven't studied it much yet, but college wrestling is my sport. You got to find outlets. There's nothing. Maybe Vegas, I think, has for the tournament only. I can find some offshore outlets, on the islands if you're into that. They don't take U.S. deposits still, so you got to find it out. But that's my sport. That's why I'm pissed off with this knee, because I like to work on the mat. I'm going to do a lot of freestyle wrestling, some mixed martial arts, not as much jiu-jitsu, but I like the mat. So I understand it. I have contacts. It's just like college football. Any idiot knows Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon. Those are the games on TV. Even me, I'm a Penn State grad. Penn State's pretty popular. But there's the information in those games. They're all. You're not going to get much of an edge there unless you pound it early and have an opinion. But the conferences I love are those smaller conferences like the MAC, Sun Belt. The West Coast I'm not really crazy about, but you find some edges once in a while there. But you concentrate on these smaller schools, there's not a lot of information now, so information becomes more valuable. All these people driving like morons. It's amazing. They've got licenses. Come on, buddy. But yeah, we'll do. Like I said, this is just basically. This is not the official introduction video, but just some freestyle thoughts here. I'm gonna pass this jackass because he's fucking. I don't know. He's Sunday driving. It's Saturday. Yeah, buddy. Nice shades. I know. Mine are freaking old school Oakleys. They're about 1,000,000 years old. They still work. What was I saying? Yeah, we're talking about the MAC. Yeah, I love the Mid-American Conference. I don't know if you ever saw me. I was documented one season. I forget. It might have been 2013 or 11. One of those years. I couldn't miss in the MAC. I was the king of the MAC, gambling-wise. I must have been, I want to say at one point 80%, which is, like I said, anybody tells you they're winning every game is crazy. You want to grind. The best of the best that I've known in the world, guys with all the information, at their fingertips, and they do it for a living. 60% would be obscene. 58, 57%, something like that, around that, would be like unreal season for them, because they're betting huge limits too, and they have a big bankroll. And you at those rates, God, you kill it. But no one's making 80%. That's crazy. Like I always tell people, football, any kind of gambling is when you bet with the bookie offshore or Vegas or whatever, your local moron, it's 50-50. You're talking, it's a coin flip bet. The only thing you paid at 11 to 10, that 4.45% or 5.4, I'm sorry, fig. So you got to. It's a grind. You bet more games, like playing poker. You're in the more hands you're in, the more chance you have to lose. Let's face it. And a lot of times, I don't care how much all the information you have. You can get injuries in the middle of the game. You can get a thunderstorm. You can get whatever. That affect your wager. A turnover, it goes 90 yards. You can't handicap that. You can't factor that in. That's randomness. That's why it drives you insane. That's why it's so fun. There's an element of randomness that you can't account for. But that randomness is okay. Speak more on. That randomness is what allows for streaks on both sides. You could have winning streaks based because the ball's rolling your way a few times. Like flipping a coin. Like I always tell people, flip the coin. 100 times, it's not going to come up 50 heads, tails, you know, or land on that side one time. And if you 1,000 times, it'll be closer to the mean. 1 billion times, it might not be exact, but it'll be closer to that mean, that 50%. So that's the premise behind, like, if you understand that behind sports betting, I mean, you got to be able to withstand those runs, like that, the negative runs and positive runs. Because your ROI, return on investment, is generally negative based on just flat, you're 11 to 10. I mean, you have to lay $11 to win 10 every time. So, you know, that's, you know, that advantage, like we said, that 4.5% advantage for the house is what you have to beat long term. And you do that by, like, you know, by knowledge, by discipline, by not, like, trying to triple up and things like that. I mean, I've always talked to people about these young aspiring gamblers coming to me at the gym or out, and they just know me from knowing me or know my reputation or whatever. And they'll ask me, like, you know, like, they'll be all charged up and say, like, okay, I got X amount of dollars saved up, I can't wait for football season. And invariably I'll say, well, like, all right, give me an example. How much do you have? What's your bankroll? $1,000. Oh, that's pretty good. You saved up $1,000. That's disposable income in this economy. Excellent. You know, you don't even work. But, all right, so what are you betting? I always say, I have to ask. I'm kind of like, because part of my job and my being is I like to educate and inform when I could. If it's something I know about. If it's something I don't know about, I bullshit it anyway. But, so, you know, this I know. I'm an expert on this, in sports wagering. And they'll ask me, or they'll tell me, yeah, I'm going to bet $100, 10% of the bank run, you know, Saturday, a game. And if you win $100, well, all right, how many games do you want to bet? Like 5, 6, 7. And I'm thinking, I'm letting them go. I'm not saying anything yet. And I'm thinking that's 70% of your bankroll in play, like in one day, I guess. So what happens if you have a bad day, opening day? Well, what happens? Well, I'll get it back on Sunday or Monday. Okay, now it's all in play. Now what happens? You're broke. So if you lose. And they're like, I don't know. Well, so you saved all that money up for one weekend, basically. You should have just went on vacation. Because that's not a sound, that's a bankrupt practice. Not having any idea how to manage your money. I mean, you could have all the opinions in the world. You could have all the knowledge in the world. You need a bank. If you don't have a bankroll and any kind of discipline or money management system, in other words, I always try to tell people, like, I do it in units. I mean, I try to establish a unit, like 1 unit equals this percentage of your bankroll. And I don't know, I'm more of a techie, you know, numerologist or a statist, you know, I like statistics. And, like, I read a lot of, you know, statistical, let me change the channel, different theories. And I subscribe to the theory of the Kelly criterion. And basically, it's a breakdown of what your bankroll would be, basically, and what your wager should be, like, you know, your expected return, and what it should be based on, like, what your bankroll, and how much did you bet, like, I think it's something like 2.8% or something like that of your bankroll is your largest wager. I forget. I did a study, and it's used for different things. So, like 2% of your bankroll would be what your average wager should be. I take it. I try to say, or, you know, the most. I always say never bet more than 5%. So if you only have $100, you're betting $5 your biggest bet. It's not a lot. So if you're gonna do this for real, you know, you to get a bigger bankroll and save up or do something, or if, you know, or just, it's supposed to be, if you want to do it for fun, well, whatever. But if you want to do it off credit, then you got to be disciplined. I mean, if they're offering you credit, well, then obviously it's whatever they take. I mean, you know, I don't know how the local bookmakers do it, but I think, you know, I mean, I guess they offer limits, I would imagine. But if you're betting off credit, I mean, you know, the only problem is if you're collecting and paying weekly versus monthly versus for the whole year, I mean, you can get the whole big, and then you start losing your discipline when it comes time to pay or collect, you know. So I don't know. There's a lot of different factors that go into that. But yeah, another thing, the knowledge part of it. I mean, you know what you know. I mean, you just have to know. I mean, whatever you're looking at, whatever sport, whatever in life. I mean, you knowledge. I mean, that could be, I guess, taught, learned. I mean, knowing what to look for. I mean, to me, it's like there's an eye test. It's matchups. Then you know, and then you got to look at, you know, weather, injuries, intent. That's something that's very overlooked. when you're talking football, when you're talking sports in general? What's the intent? Like, especially in the professional level, are they looking ahead? Is there something bigger? It doesn't matter. When you're talking point spreads, not just to win the game. Now you're talking, there's a point spread involved, so you have to cover the spread. Or is the coach, or is the team coming off a huge, gigantic homecoming victory, and next week they're playing a team that they're just superior to? Are they going to be not focused? I mean, they're kids. It's like college. So I usually, I know betting syndicates that actually employ a psychologist to try to figure out where their kids' minds are. I know it kind of sounds insane, but that's one of the factors that go into it. So it's more involved than people realize. And I guess we'll get to that. And I guess I'm at the end of my journey here. I have to run in freaking Starbucks for a $17 coffee, iced coffee. But anyway, it's been good talking to you. I know next time you see me, I'll probably be shaved up. I'll be gelled up. I'll be looking sharper than this, and we'll be using better equipment. But this is the fabulous one from Double F and G Sports saying later.